What's going on, everybody? I hope you guys had a great weekend, unlike our team out in Anaheim. But hey, this is the regular season finale of the Juice Box Heroes podcast. I'm one of your hosts, PK. Sweet B Bones Bryles is with me. He's ready to go on his fall trip. We'll get into that here in a minute. Moreno, the Dubon Fan Club president, he will be back in town on Monday. We'll kind of see where we go from there. But Bryles, how was your weekend?
It was busy, man. Yeah, we had a lot of expectations going into the weekend, hoping the Astros would be able to turn this around, pull it out. Can't say that actually happened. So guess what? They get to go to Cancun early. All right, there you go, guys. Go get your cruise and cabana gear ready to go, and go hit up your favorite tropical spots, because guess what? You don't have to worry about October. So anyway, but the rest of my weekend went fine. Didn't, like I said, just had a busy weekend. Got to coach a doubleheader today with the League City Little League, and that's been about it, man. It's just been busy.
Yeah. No, we were out of town. We were in Buda over the weekend at a wedding. So we just got back in today, but let's get into this, man. Let's get into this thing. So look, Friday night, we talked about it on Thursday night, what you had to do Friday. At minimum, you had to sweep them, right? At least that was what my thought process was, right? Because if you lose one of the games over the weekend, you're just really inviting so much help. You already needed help, but if you were to lose one, like, you really need things to fall into place, because now you're chasing. And we go into Friday, right? I had all this crap up a minute ago, and it's all gone. It's right here. All right, so Friday. Here's Friday. Costanza, he started, right? And you were going against Hendricks, who's like ancient and throws, I don't know, 80 miles an hour, right? Like as hard as Jason Alexander. And you got on him. You got on him three. You got put 3 in the fourth, right? I mean, Bros, what did you see from Friday night? Look, before we get into the disaster later in the game.
Yeah. So actually, I thought they game planned pretty well for this. We had Jason Alexander on the mound. He's been pitching well. We've been talking about him for the last month and a half, 2 months, and he has surprised us. He's come out of nowhere to kind of right the ship on a lot of times that when Hunter would kind of leave us, or not Hunter, excuse me, where Fromber would leave us with just a terrible taste in our mouth from a previous loss. But anyway, Alexander came in. I thought he was going to be prepared. He looked good, and he was prepared for everybody except for one player on the Angels. Yeah. One player got to him. Who was that? That was the infamous Mike Trout, who took him deep twice. So anyway, they look good. I think the Astros actually did look good on Friday. They were ready to go. We got the offense rocking, just like you said. It was against Kyle Hendricks. Kyle Hendricks, to be quite honest, I didn't even know he was still in the show until I was looking at, getting prepared for the game, looking at the box and the previews and all that other kind of stuff. And I'm like, is that the same Kyle Hendricks? Yes, it is. So anyway, I got super excited. I was like, okay, this is the way we're going to start it off. And, yeah, that's why I've got this outfit on. So, PK, what did you see, buddy?
Yeah, look, it was, Walker went yard. Yiner had 2 doubles, right? I mean, it's really frustrating. This is not going to be a very long episode, right? We kind of talked about it before we went on. I mean, I'd like to wait till Chris gets back so we have a full off-season type episode. We're going to get into a little bit of what we anticipate going to happen. But it's just really frustrating. We've been like this for several months now. But Yiner Diaz, he had 2 doubles. Walker had a bomb, right? Freaking Zach Cole, he was 1 for 3. Then he also had a, put out from center field to third base late in the game to keep you at 3-2. Like, you had a lot of things going your way. You had Detroit was like losing to Boston, lost to Boston in extra innings on Friday night. You had the Rangers and Jack Leiter throwing like 7-8 innings I mean, and they were beating the Guardians like 7-2. I think it was I don't know if that was the final.
Breaks off of them. Yeah.
Getting at is that like Friday night, it was lining up for like something could happen over the weekend, right? But you had to take care of Friday night because those two things were falling into place for you. And then you get into the 8th inning, right? And Brian King, I think, is pitching at this point because he had the blown save. Yeah. So Brian King has the blown save and a loss because he's the one that gave up the home run to Trout. Now Trout has been he's been playing pretty good here in the last towards the end of the season. He's probably fully healthy because that poor guy, he always seems to be healthy. But long story short is you blew a 3-0 lead. The Guardians lost to the Rangers. The Tigers lost to the Red Sox, and you lost the damn game. And for me, Friday night's loss ended the season. For me, it just seemed like there just was going to need to be too much help over the weekend. Detroit's too good of a team to get swept by Boston. The Guardians are too good of a team to get swept by the Rangers, right? And you needed that to happen now after you lose on Friday night. That was my takeaway from Friday night, unfortunately. So, Bryce, you got anything else on Friday?
It was inevitable. Once Trout came up, and like I said, he prepared for this game clearly more than we did. Or like you said, he's just been getting hot at the end of the season. But to your point, yeah, that's what it was. It was with Detroit losing and with Cleveland losing, and knowing that we had to get out of this with 3 wins, and you have a 3-0 lead, and you give it up like that, and then can't come back and win this game. I mean, it was just
it's heartbreaking, dude.
It was over. No, it was over because you needed a miracle after losing Friday night's game, and you got exactly what you needed from the other two teams. You got loss, and you had the lead and could not sustain it. So, it's I agree with you. It was Cancun time after Friday night, and I know we went into Saturday, which I know you're about to get into, but it felt like Saturday, even though it was desperate, back against the wall. You got to win no matter what. You're not controlling your own destiny, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's too little, too late after Friday night's loss. The thing, so we'll run through Friday real quick because I think it's not funny because we're not in the postseason, but the way that we were eliminated on Saturday. Hey, do you know how we were eliminated? Like the sequence?
Yeah.
Browse? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, okay. So let's just get into Friday, right? Our Saturday's game. Blue ball, 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 4 Ks. This kid is gonna be in the starting rotation next year. There's no way he's not. There's no way he's not. The dude has been on point for the last month and a half, 2 months. Every time he's pitched, whether it's been long relief or starting, like the dude's throwing 96, 98, controlled the zone. A couple of times he gets a little wild, and then that's bit him with some home runs. But for the most part, this guy's been pretty damn clutch in the last month and a half. So I fully expect him to be in talks, if not maybe like a 4 or 5 starter for the 26th season. Really pumped to see that. De Los Santos, he pitched an inning. JP France, 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 5 Ks. Good for JP France to come back. That was just a good. I don't think he pitched today. He didn't pitch today. So for him, that's a good way to finish the season, right? I mean, that's a good outing for him. And then Kimbrel, 1 inning, 2 Ks. The thing with Saturday's game, Cole went yard, Walker went yard again, Jesus Sanchez went yard, right? I mean, you won 6-1.
Walker went 3 for 4, right?
He went 2 for 4. So he went
2 for 4.
Friday night he went 1 for 4. Saturday 2 for 4. Today he goes on the bench. That's what he did today. He was on the bench, but but yeah, he had a good series, and I think the Astros hit the home run in 4 consecutive games. I think first time that had been done in a minute. At least that was a stat that I saw. So, look, you had some offense today. You don't want to be Debbie Downer about it, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter, right? It didn't matter. Browse, for the people that don't know how we were officially eliminated, do you want to let them know the sequence that happened in Cleveland?
All right. Well, before I get into that, just real quick, I do want to touch on Christian Walker because I've been talking about him now for the last few weeks. When we were in West Sacramento playing the A's, I mentioned, I've tweeted it out or on X, and just all this is like he looks so bad. And I even talked about this in our last podcast. Yeah, he just looked so bad. Like his timing was off. He looked terrible. And then all of a sudden, he comes to LA, and then now he's just crushing baseballs. He's so streaky. Listen, I like Christian Walker. I think he's an upgrade over any of the other first basemen we've had in the last 3-4 years. Since Yuli. But at the same time, he's going to have to get his act together for 2026. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. But it was good to see him contribute. But as you mentioned, too little, too late. So and I'm assuming you're talking about tiebreakers is why you wanted to say how we got eliminated.
No. Do you know how, like, the official play on how we got eliminated?
Oh, no, I don't know the official play. Go ahead.
Okay. So Rangers are at Cleveland. We all know that, right? Yep. The Rangers load the bases. They load the bases in the 9th inning. The pitcher that is on the hill has not hit a batter the entire season. The next batter is a lefty. He hits him in the arm. Walk-off win for Cleveland. That's how they win. That's how we get eliminated. Wild.
I wonder if that was on purpose.
Right. That was the thing that I saw on X, right? Like, could be.
I was going by a lot of times I'm going off of like just MLB.com, looking at standings, looking at everything that happened on games that I didn't get to see.
Yeah.
I did not realize that play, and of course it involved the Rangers.
Yeah.
Would do that. That is
it's
unbelievable.
It's quite possible, to be honest with you. It's really possible.
It's more than possible. It's probable is what it is.
Yeah. So that was the sequence. That's how the Astros were eliminated. I mean, because you won, right? I mean, not you, but like you were eliminated before you played Saturday night. I'm assuming. I don't know. Like I said, I was at a wedding, so I don't know what time how it happened, the sequence that it did, but that was the
Astros
sequence.
Had the win first. Yeah.
Texas and Cleveland. That's how it ended Saturday. So that's how you got eliminated. And then look, Cleveland went on to win obviously Saturday. They went on to win today. Tigers won Saturday. Tigers won. Well, I think they're playing tonight, I think, on ESPN. But so right, it goes back to Friday. If you would have won Friday night, you had stood a better chance, right? Things could have got a little bit more interesting. And if you ended up sweeping, I think you still lose out. I think because you would be tied with everybody. I believe that's just kind of going off the top of my head. But then it goes back to, I see a lot of stuff on X, man, a lot of stuff of like how important these wins are. And you always see, hell, we talk about it. We've done it in games in April and May. And it's like, okay, like this sucks. This is early in the season. There's a long way to go. But it's like you missed out in the playoffs by one game. You finished tied with Detroit. Your final standings is you finished 85 and I don't know. What did we finish? 85 and 86 and 75. You tied with Detroit. And they had a tiebreaker. So every game counts. We all know that, obviously, right? But it's these like series losses that we've had to like Oakland, and not even recently, but like earlier in the season when they came to Daikin and blew us out of the stadium, right? Where you go and you lose. I think we lost a series. I'm pretty sure we lost a series to the White Sox, right? Like it's just stupid series losses that you're supposed to win, and you can't win every single damn series. I know that, right? But like you're supposed to win the series you're supposed to win, and when it comes down to this, where you tied and you needed one more win out of a 162 game season, you needed 87 wins to get you into the tournament. So look, man, that's how the season ended. Did you happen to see the text that I sent you or sent our group?
Oh yeah.
The 2025 Astros injury. This is a list, and this is from Ari Alexander, just for credit's sake. And I thought it was pretty sick, disgusting, but also very informative. So here we go. Spencer Arrighetti missed all but 7 starts. Ronel Blanco, Tommy John after 9 starts. Luis Garcia, elbow injury after 2 starts, after missing most of the season from Tommy John. Hayter missed the final 2 months. McCullers on and off the IL. After returning from missing 2 seasons, Caleb Ort, look, he missed the final month. Y'all know how I feel about Caleb Ort. I
don't think you were too upset about that one.
John Rooney, that was a guy from the minors, from the Marlins that we got after the deadline. Elbow surgery after 1 appearance. And that appearance
I think he only pitched in 1 game.
Against Miami.
Perfect.
Bennett Sousa missed the final 6 weeks. Brandon Walter, Tommy John for 9 starts. Wisniewski. Dude, I actually forgot that guy was on our damn team. Like, seriously. Tommy John for 6 starts. Just the pitchers. That's just pitchers. Here's the position players. Paredes, 2 months with hamstring. Pena missed 35 games with broken ribs, sore oblique. Brendan Rodgers missed the final 3.5 months. Jordan, we know, limited 48 hand and then ankle. DeZenzo missed the final 4 months with the hand. Chaz missed 6 weeks with an oblique. Melton, 6 weeks with ankle and some back stuff early in the season. Jake Myers, 2 months with the calf. Taylor Trammell, 4 months with the calf. Then missed time after doing acrobats in the outfield. And that about covers it. So huge credit to Ari Alexander. That's
a lot of injuries to keep track of.
It's kind of really disgusting when you go down and you read all that, right? I mean, it's bad. And the guy, look, you're still a game out. So if there's any silver lining to it, you finished 1 win shy with all that crap. Now, the question I ask you, Bryles, is, if Houston got in, like, how legit? Like, it's cool. It would have been sweet to get in there, right? We all wanted to be in there, but like, how serious of a run do you think you can make?
I think that's the problem you look at. It's, everybody's looking at this as in, we missed out on a tiebreaker. We should have done this. We should have done that. From that list you just read off, I mean, think about this. Even if we would have got in, what were they going to do? What were your expectations? We couldn't go into West Sacramento and handle business. We couldn't go into Anaheim and Los Angeles of California to handle the Angels, for 3 games to do exactly what we needed to do. And the only reason we were in that position is because of past mistakes. So, I mean, even if we limped into the playoffs, the chances of us catching lightning in a bottle and then all of a sudden catching fire and going out there and, beating somebody, which at that point, I think we would have been playing Cleveland. Is that correct? If we would have got the last
we would have been the last seed, so yes.
Yeah, we would have been playing Cleveland. Cleveland would have pummeled us. They are one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. So unless something changed overnight, the entire Guardian staff gets food poisoning, and then all of a sudden we can come in there and, just beat them down, then, honestly, I don't think that going to the playoffs not only was in the stars, but even a good thing for us. I think now at least they're going to, instead of saying, oh, hey, guess what, guys? We made the playoffs at least, so we just got a little retooling we need to do. Now they're going to go back and look and say, okay, listen, what did we actually do that messed us up? And in my personal opinion, going back and looking at everything, listen, all those injuries you just read off, you cannot change that. Those are going to happen. I do think that, our medical staff probably could have handled the rehabilitation process a lot better than they did. Not a little bit better, a whole lot better, which, because we don't see these issues with other teams, or maybe we don't get the news on a lot of the other rehab issues with these other teams. So I think that had a lot to do with it. And the second thing is, one of the biggest guys that we counted on that was healthy, that we expect to win, is Framber Valdez. And Framber Valdez looked like he did not even want to play baseball after the All-Star break. He looked like he could have cared less. And when you don't have a team that gels, that's going to go out there and, actually have that hustle the whole time and try to just grind these things out, that's what's going to happen. That's what honestly, when we got Correa, I thought that was going to be that one missing piece. It's going to go in there, wake everybody up, and make them grind. And he did his part. I think he tried to get that going. It didn't work. And then on top of that, Well, I think it kind of worked. Let me rephrase that. It kind of worked. And then on top of that, it was just injury after injury after injury, and guys just trying to come back as quickly as possible because we were using AA, AAA players that we were picking up off the trash heap, just to come in there and fill a spot every now and again. So we had a lot of adversity at the same time, but I look at some of these Espada lineups that we've had over the last 3 months, and I'm just like, it felt like there were days where he just didn't care if we won or not. That's the way it looked like to me. So, like you said, all that adds up. Though that loss in May, does it matter? Oh, absolutely, it matters. And hey, here's another little fun nugget of information there for you, PK. You want to take a wild guess on what the over/under was on Astros wins for the season?
What was it, 87?
86.5. Guess who took the over?
Did you? Yeah, that guy.
Oh yeah. So anyway, that's all right. I'm off my soapbox, but that was kind of the way I feel about all of it.
It
has nothing to do with my bet, by the way.
It's wild how Vegas can be that kind of dead nut. It's wild.
86.5.
86.5. Unbelievable.
That in March.
Unbelievable. No, look, you've got a lot of questions. We're going to get into another episode with off-season questions. I know I'll just throw some out for right now. I did see something on X today about Fromber wanting to come back to Houston because they gave him a chance and, to be in a World Series and this and that. And so, look, question number one is, do we want Fromber back? That's question number one. I'm going to say this right. I don't at all. I'm good. Go to New York, go to some other team that's going to pay you a stupid amount of money, and you can deal with his bullshit up there. I think after the Cesar Salazar cross up, right? For me, that was when he stopped caring, right? I'm just tired of seeing those little childish antics. So, but that's one of the questions the Astros have to decide. Do they want to bring him back? Will he even take the number that they offer? They're going to be low, right? He can more than likely, he's going to give you 170, 180 innings a season. He can command big money. Like Fromber can. He can, even with all the BS on the side. So what do the Astros do with Fromber Valdez? What they're going to do with Zach Cole. Like that, it's I know it's a small sample size, and he got really hot at like a really good time. So all we have is a short amount of time that he's been up in the show to see. Do you leave him at center field? Do you like him at center field for going into 2026? What do you do with Jake Myers?
Exactly.
Right. What do you do with Walker? What are you going to do with Paredes, Altuve? And I'm not talking about getting rid of. I'm talking about specifically where these guys are going to play on the field. That's what I'm talking about. Right. Yep. Like that's what I'm talking about. So we have a lot of questions, man. We got a lot of questions to go through.
We're to get into it, man.
We got a lot. Hey, unfortunately, we have a lot of time to talk about it. That's the unfortunate part. But look, man. Hey, look. I know this is like an end of an era. The Astros won this massive run. Here was the. This is going to be air quotes. From 2017 to 2024, 8 consecutive trips to the postseason, 2 World Series championships, 4 AL pennants, 7 straight to the ALCS, 7 AL West titles, 99 playoff games, countless champagne celebrations. That is from Brian McTaggart. It's an end of a consecutive run. That's what it's an end of. I don't think this team is done. I really don't. It is definitely an end of the consecutive, obviously, playoff appearance and the AL West winnings. But until then, man, look, we're going to come back. We're going to bring Moreno back whenever he gets back. Bryles, we'll see if he has his Cancun swag on for the next time. We got a lot of time to talk about offseason stuff. But until then, this is the Juice Box Heroes. I'm one of your hosts, PK. That's Bryles. Chris will be back next time this week. Until then, go Astros still. I guess go Blue Jays.
Absolutely, man.
I'm going for the Blue Jays, by the way.
Well, guys, it was a heck of a run. So glad that we got to see it and, be a part of it. And I'm going to call this a hiccup because the era is not over.
That's what I'm saying.